I'm Meredith, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to do a squat as well as a back stretch. So let's get started. So for today, I have a chair. The chair is optional for the squat portion, but we'll probably need it later for the stretch. And I say probably because you can also use other things, but we're just going to have a chair for today. So let's get started with our squat. First things first, we have to set up our feet. So typically speaking, you want to be at least hip distance, if not shoulder distance apart. Most women will find that being shoulder distance gives them a better sense of balance. And that's perfectly normal and okay. So stand in a formation that works best for you. I'm going to turn this way so you can see the biomechanics a little bit better. I am going to be using the chair as demonstration. But again, you don't need one. It's just sometimes nice to have. So standing either shoulder distance or hip distance apart, we're gonna go nice and tall through the spine, navel hugs in, rib cage tucks in, and I'm gonna set my arms out in front. You could really put your arms almost anywhere for a squat, but today I'm gonna have my arms out in front because that is a nice counterbalance and is helpful if you're feeling a little unsteady sometimes. So standing nice and tall, I'm going to take a big inhale and I'm going to send my hips back towards the chair. My weight is in my heels and my glutes are already activating. As I press through my heels and I squeeze my glutes, I exhale, stand tall. Good. Let's do that again. So arms out in front, big inhale. Slowly come down, hips back, weight in heels. Maybe tap the chair. Exhale as you press through the heels, squeeze the glutes, stand tall. So you don't have to go that low. Sometimes your body will automatically tell you, nope, we're stopping right here. This is where we like. And that's fine. You're gonna work with what your body wants today. And that can vary from day to day. Some days we feel a little bit stronger and some days not so much. So let's honor what our body wants to do today. So let's do that again. And I'm gonna show the opposite of what we should be doing. So standing up nice and tall again, navel hugs in, rib cage hugs in, take an inhale, and slowly send your hips back towards the chair, weight in your heels, glutes strong, exhale, squeeze, send it all the way back up. So throughout this entire process, I've been sending my hips back. What I often see is people send their hips forward as well as their knees, and we start to get this tucked position and the heels start to come up, which is what we don't want. We want the feet to be firmly planted on the ground, and we want to send our hips back like we're going to sit in a chair, which is why it's nice to have a chair right behind you. So let's do that one more time together, and then I'm going to show another variation. So reaching the arms out, nice tall posture. Navel hugs in, take an inhale. Slowly sit your hips back towards the chair, weight in heels. Exhale as you come up and squeeze through your glutes. Very nice. So if that movement is a little too challenging and you're not quite there yet, I have another great alternative, which is a sit to stand. Basically a squat, just broken down. So you're gonna start seated. And this is really nice if you have armrests and you need a little extra help. So if getting up on your own without armrests is challenging, you might want to start with a chair that does have armrests so you can get some leverage. Otherwise, you can put your hands on your legs. That sometimes helps give you leverage as well. Or you can cross your hands over your chest or place them out in front. For today, I'm just going to put my hands on my thighs for demonstration. So we're going to hinge forward. Weight should be in our heels because that helps activate our glutes. And then you're going to rock forward and stand up as you're able. Now the real challenge is sitting back down with control and not doing what I call kerplunking. So no kerplunking here. We're going to sit down very slowly. So weight in the heels, hips back, nice and controlled. And then come all the way down, good. And you know what? I'm gonna scooch back even closer to my chair because I noticed as I was coming down, I was too far on the edge. So this is a good practice. Ready? Let's try that again. So hips come back, weight in heels, navel's tucked in, and come all the way down. Good, sitting tall. Another key thing with a squat, either using the chair or not, is making sure our chest is always lifted and our gaze is up. We don't want to be looking down. We don't want to be hunched forward. Things like that are going to throw off our squats. So let's try that again. So hinge forward, chest is open, eyes are up. Press through the heels, squeeze the glutes, stand nice and tall. Good. And then slowly with control, we're coming back down, weight in the heels, and resting in the chair. Very nice. If you need a second, shake out those legs. You're doing a great job. From here, I'm going to transition and show you my favorite back stretch. So as you're able to stand up, so for today's purposes, I'm going to use a chair to demonstrate this stretch, but you could also use things like your kitchen counter, a wall, ideally something that's not really going to move. So we're going to use the chair in a very specific way because yes, the chair can move. So what I don't want you to do is go behind the chair because as soon as we pull it, it's going to rock back. So we're going to stand in front of the chair where the seat is. So we're going to do this like a nice back extension stretch. We're going to get a lot of space in between the vertebrae. We're going to stretch all those big muscles in the back and it just feels like a nice little release. So how much you do this or how big your stretch is will depend on how your body feels, okay? So first things first, if you're using a chair, you're gonna place one hand on either side and you're gonna start to walk your feet out a little bit. You want your feet to be about hip or shoulder distance apart and start to walk your feet out, and as you do so, start to send your tailbone backwards. So we're really getting a stretch through our entire spine. I'm holding onto my chair for support as well as for traction. And sometimes it's nice to just completely relax your neck and give it a nice little shake. And then you can bring it back into alignment with the rest of your spine. I'm drawing my navel in towards my spine right now just to give it some support. And another key thing here is you don't need to lock out your knees. You want a nice soft bend to the knee. And you can always adjust your feet while you're here. We're going to hold this for about 10 to 30 seconds. It really depends on how you're feeling. Nice deep breaths here, making sure our exhales are longer than our inhales. That tells the body to relax. And when you're ready to get out of the stretch, slowly start to walk your feet forward. Be very mindful, especially if you're using a chair that moves, and then slowly stand up. But I would highly recommend doing this, especially if you can do it against a wall with your hands flat on the wall and pressing the wall away, or using your kitchen counter. You can hold underneath the little counter ledge and do the same thing, or you can do it with your palms facing flat as well. You can get creative. So in terms of doing squats, squats are going to work all those really big muscle groups that help us do our activities of daily living. So super important. If you can do a set of 10 almost daily, that's 70 reps per week. That's way more than doing 0, and it is actually going to help you build strength if you're consistent and in the long run. And then this stretch you can do every day if you'd like. You can do it multiple times a day if it feels good for you. Just never forcing the body to do anything. We're always listening, especially the next day. How would I feel after doing 10 squats? How would I feel after doing those stretches? So just listen to your body, but ultimately keep moving and keep thriving. Thanks so much for your time. Have a great rest of your day.